Well, you really did shave your face off, didn't you?
And I'm like,
I should have said something. But I can tell you did a good job.
And I forgot because I thought it was on this side because I thought for sure it's going to be. No, it's on this side. No one's even going to see it. So.
Do you know when? You know when I used to do that? The day of a wedding. And I always wear a white shirt. So
now, did you do anything to cover it up then?
I didn't cover it up, but I got my deodorant and just.
Okay.
Because that's basically what a styptic pencil is.
Okay.
It's just ammonium. Same thing. It's the same active ingredient that dries you up.
Gotcha.
So, come on, stop bleeding, guy. And so finally, by the time of the wedding,
I hadn't even thought about that.
it works beautifully. All right, I'm going to start the Hoosiema Whopper.
Alrighty.
Yep, I do. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, it works. We have to go.
Hey, hey. Was that Fat Albert? Wasn't that?
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey.
Love
It's
to
Fat
play-
Albert. Yeah, it was.
Love
Wow,
to play tackle.
There's a flashback for you.
To my time.
All right, you ready to kick it off?
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll use some of this. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is the extra footage you get that you don't get with the official podcast start.
I got something from when we started.
Okay, here we go. So now we're starting officially.
Hey.
Here we go.
Hey, it's your friend Mike O'Neill, and it's Mike and Mike's Off-Air Podcast, and indeed Mike O'Neill on the new My 97.5, and
Mike Pesto also on the new My 97.5. Mornings and afternoons covered for you.
And I'm 67 years old, and I'm embarrassed to say that I figured out for the first time. I knew it had to mean something specific, but I looked yesterday on our YouTube page, and now I know what it means when you smash the bell. I was like, I'm sure there's something on there, and that'll make sense if I look, but I've never seen it before.
You finally just now got to our YouTube page.
I've never smashed. Well, I don't log on our. I don't like. Even on our website, if there's a place where you can join, I know where it is, but I feel
You
like
don't go there.
because I work here. I don't like join the club. Or whatever.
And I think just the opposite. Why would we ask anyone else
Yeah.
to do something that we're not willing to do ourselves?
I'm a network member, so all right.
I can see, and I am not, but that's.
Well-
I work here, so I consider that my at-work membership.
That's kind of what I was saying. But anyway, hey, I am late to a party. Apparently, we went up to Fresno over the weekend, and we had to go to the Fashion Square Mall, and we got hungry, and I didn't want to go to Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out for the 4,000th time. And Colleen said, you know what, let's go find a Good Times Cafe-esque kind of play up in Fresno. And,
Okay.
Oh, did she find one? Have you ever been to Colorado Grill?
I have not.
10 minutes away from the mall, man. It is so good. It is so much. It's not. It doesn't have the vibe, but it has the food and the cool food kitsch of Good Times Cafe. As good as those burgers are, and the way they give you so much and how good it is. Colorado Grill's amazing. I got the feeling that it's family owned and operated.
Okay.
The nicest people you've ever dealt with. They're in my top 5 burgers right now.
Really?
I'll be going.
Okay.
We're going back up on Saturday. I am now glad Colleen's having an iPhone problem because we'll go to the mall and, hey, you want to go to lunch right after? So
That's the closest Apple store, so that makes
late
sense.
to the party, thought I'd share, and that's my.
Speaking of Good Times Cafe, I saw the picture, and in fact, I think I was the first to like it on their Facebook page, Good Times Cafe. They have an Easter-themed shake right now that they just introduced. I don't know if they have it in years past.
What is it?
If anyone knows, let us know. I haven't tried it yet.
No.
But my hope is that in mentioning it, because I know that they advertise with us, that maybe they'll get wind of us talking about it. They'll bring one in, well, 2 in at some point, and we can actually sample them on the air, and we can talk about how great they are.
It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. It's like I'm not in there, 2-3 times a month already. I am so hopelessly addicted to the Double Dreamer burger that they have. It's Swiss cheese and everything else I love on a burger, and we get a double. My son and I get 1 double burger.
Now, is it on the menu as a double, or you ask for a double of that burger?
You can get a double.
Okay, so you can. Okay,
they tell you that they make it, but we each, Sean and I, because we get the 2x2 or the 3x3 when we go places, but we each got a double burger and didn't eat for a day and a half after that. So it was like we're splitting this from now on, and you already know they throw a shovel full of fries in. So it's like, oh my goodness. Nice problems to have.
You do bring some home with you every time you go to Good Times Cafe, and that's not a problem.
And it's not a problem with that right next to
I would
Stone.
recommend, though, finish the fries first, because I don't care how good fries are, they're never as good put in the microwave. Now, if you want to take the time and put them in an air fryer after
That's
the fact,
what you
that's
do.
what you can do.
You know what I've been using the air fryer for lately?
What's that?
Potatoes, baked potatoes.
Yes.
Back in the
Yes,
day,
yes.
back in the day when I grew up, my mom was the typical traditional. Back in the day, every dinner was home cooked dinner, and we ate. Being an Irish family, we ate a lot of potatoes, and Mom always made them in the oven. And you get the absolutely perfect cooked inside there, but that crispy skin that you can put butter on and eat separately. It does that in the air fryer.
Yes, it does. And
So
you don't
nice.
have to puncture it either. What I do is I take olive oil, put that over
So
the
do we.
skin. Well,
Yeah.
wash it first,
Yeah.
olive oil, and
Salt
then
and pepper.
I've got a salt, pepper, garlic mix, and actually has a
Nice.
little bit of a butter flavoring to it too. Put that all over on the outside.
So good.
And then put it in the air fryer for 25, 30 minutes for 1 to 2, if they're two small ones. Crack it open, butter, a little bit of shredded cheese on the top. Done.
Perfection. You know what? This makes me smile. We've been talking now for 5 minutes. Every other time we get together to talk, always about food. It just makes me laugh. Anyway.
Maybe it's because we're usually recording this around noon and we're usually hungry about this time.
Hey, you want to go to Gumbo right now?
Yeah, let's just wrap this up.
Wish we could go. But
You know what? Maybe we could work that out, because I don't think Gumbo has ever advertised with the stations here, with the new My 97.5 or any of the stations with Momentum Broadcasting, is work out a deal where you and I can do our lunch there and do the podcast from
live.
from the restaurant.
Really?
Wouldn't mind that. And join us for lunch as we do our podcast live.
they already know what we eat. I mean, we walk in there every time, and they've got me nailed because I've only ordered 2 things there. But, I mean, it's not that hard. You just have to be awake to notice I get the same damn thing every time. But it's nice that they do remember, and they know your 1 or 2 things you kind of roll around through.
Yeah.
And the little stuff, like you like it hot, right? And you like chopsticks, you like a fork. And, I mean, that's where you want to spend your money.
That's when we know we haven't been in a while, when she forgets who gets the fork and who
Yeah.
gets the chopsticks, who gets the hot oil, who doesn't. Yeah.
No, if I get chopsticks, you know what my line is when I say, no, I don't want to play with my food. I want to eat it. Mike's very confident with them. I'm like, that looks like a toy.
It forces me to slow down a little bit as I'm eating, which I know I have an issue with. I don't eat anywhere near as often with the whole intermittent fasting thing that I'm doing. So when I do eat, I pound it. Unless I'm using chopsticks, in which I kind of have to take my time a little
Yeah,
bit.
because otherwise, when I can use them, it takes me forever. I drop every other one. It's like, I'm playing with my food. I'm really not eating it. Give me a fork. Anyway.
So I have a visual aid that, okay, close your eyes, Mike O'Neill.
All right.
All right, so I have a visual aid. I think I may have mentioned that the past other weekend or so, with my mother-in-law's passing, we're spending time at Pacific Grove helping my father-in-law kind of go through some things. So I'm showing everyone who watches on YouTube something I found.
And I'm
My
not
wife
supposed to
found
look,
this,
right?
actually. I'm gonna hand this to you in a second.
Okay.
You're gonna know exactly what this is.
I still
I'm
have
gonna
my eyes
ask
closed.
you, because you used to use these back in the day, if you have some of these. So you can open your eyes.
Yeah.
That's what we found.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
I've used many. Well, you found you found the outside. None of the good stuff's in here. This, for those of you that are not as old as I or Mike Pesta was, when I went to Disneyland back in the day, I would pay $3.50 for admission.
So there was admission to get in.
Yep.
Okay, so because I always thought it was like the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, where it was free to walk around,
Nope.
but if you wanted to ride anything, that's when you had to pay a ticket or
A
something.
little bit of both, but I mean, it was $3.50
That's
back
nothing.
then.
Okay.
And then you bought this, which had, let me remember, 1 or 2 A's, 1 A, 2 B's, I think like 3 C tickets, some D's, and a few of the E.
So it was rated like the Matterhorn would have been an A.
E was an E ticket. A was the merry-go-round.
Oh, okay, so it goes from
Cheap to
the
big.
cheapest to most expensive. Okay, gotcha.
And that's how you got on the rides.
Okay.
Now you just give them your credit card and you never get it back. No, it's not that bad, but It's considerably more expensive.
What you do, you can't afford to pay it.
But then you had to decide, okay, well, I've got 2 e-tickets. I got 3 e-tickets. I forget exactly how many there were. But there were multiples, obviously. But you ran out eventually, and so you're like, oh, okay. And you had to decide what you wanted to go on. But that's crazy, man.
So here's what, it tells you where my mind is and the cost of things nowadays. I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, okay, so this coupon may be used for one admission to any A through E ride attraction at Disneyland. My first thought was, because I read the first line, this coupon may be used for one admission. I thought, they still have to honor this. Maybe we found a loophole in that we have this antique ticket for Disneyland, but then it goes to say an A through E ride, and they don't have that.
And I'll bet there's a date on it somewhere.
Well, there's not. I looked.
Really?
And that's why I thought I got myself a winner here. But then again, like I said, it's on any A through E ride. That's the first thing that says, you've got a nice collectible. Hold on to that because you're not going to get into the park with this.
Well, I was good. Well, technically, you can't get on a ride unless you're in. Get me in. I'll go use it. No, it was a different day back then. It had been so long. We just went in January, and it had been decades for me. And in some ways, I knew right where I was, and in other ways, I had
completely lost.
Everything was different. I mean, all the little stuff was different, but a lot of the big stuff was the same.
Yeah, especially I would imagine Fantasyland. That felt very familiar to you. I mean, redesigned cues and how things look. But once you actually got on the attraction, like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride,
still in the same place it's been for 1,000 years.
Yeah,
and it's still a great ride. But all of them look so much older now. And Tomorrowland is not Tomorrowland. Although they did, I have to say, since the last time I was there, last time I was in Tomorrowland, it was Yesterdayland. Yeah. It's still not exactly Tomorrowland, but they have gussied it up and modernized it in some respects. It didn't look quite so ancient as it had, as I remembered it the last time, because they have some new attractions in there. And, oh, man, I can't even remember the name of the one ride that just still makes me throw up.
Star Tours.
Oh, my God.
You'll be happy to know. And someone correct me if I'm wrong, if you watch this on YouTube or comment on the video on one of the posts, but I think it's going away.
Really?
I thought for sure once they put in Galaxy's Edge at the other end of Disneyland, the Star Wars themed area, since it's a Star Wars themed ride, and if you think about it, the whole Star Wars thing is a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So in that case, what is it even doing in Tomorrowland? This was Yesterdayland ad nauseum. So it should belong in Galaxy's Edge, but apparently they're just taking it out together. And that leads to another problem. I wasn't going to go down this rabbit hole, but there's nothing there attraction-wise in Tomorrowland right now anyway. There's the Buzz Lightyear laser thing, which they have a very similar attraction at Pixar Pier in California Adventure. It's not quite as good as that, but they have that there. They have Autopia.
And they still have they have a gussied up version of the rocket still there. That's been there forever.
And I think that's it.
There's that. Well, there's the ride I just mentioned. There's Space Mountain. Don't forget that one.
Space Mountain. Okay, yeah. So that's the big one, the anchor, if you will.
And that one about got me to toss my cookies. I am old now, Mike. It's very, very disappointing. Put me on the merry-go-round and walk away.
As small as Fantasyland is by comparison, as far as square footage, they have twice, if not 3 times as many attractions as Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland is more of a feel you get, almost like Frontierland.
But if you have kids, you know that, I mean, no matter how completely you cover the park, you do spend, if you have younger kids, most of your time in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
That's where the rides are. And I mean, I remember taking my eldest daughter, who's 40 now, so she'll love me dragging this memory up. But I mean, when we went, there's the Dumbo ride where the elephants go up and down.
Yeah.
Those were the Ellies, she called them.
Aw.
I love the Ellies. And so, sorry, but we've been calling them that since, she was 8 and she's 40 now. Want to go on the Ellies? Shut up. But, and Aiden's calling them that now. So sweet. So we've extended that into posterity. The nice cheap inexpensive
Yeah.
vacation to
Right.
Disneyland.
And again, if only those tickets were good for anything.
Yep.
So there's a poll question up. We'll be up for the next couple of days at my975fm.com. Same place you could check out this podcast, obviously. National Don't Go to Work Unless It's Fun Day was last week, Thursday.
Right?
So the poll question asking you, would you say you usually have fun at work? And it's just, yes, I do, no, I don't. I have not voted yet, but I'll have the results of that. You want to weigh in on that one at all?
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. I mean, I could have picked something that I made a little more money at, probably, and
Right, a
worked
lot more money.
A lot. Well, that's why I had the Mike O'Neill's Dance Machine mobile DJ service for years, because I needed to make more money. But I love doing what I do so much. I was able to continue to find a way to do this. I love being in radio, and I know that I'm probably going to die on the air one day because I just love doing it. And it's it's not like ditch digging. You're not going to get worn out. I love doing it, and so yes, that does. I have to like what I'm doing, and I have to feel like it's because I'm doing the job that the company has me there. Both of those things have to be. And I have always felt, virtually always felt that way here. Certain relationships, you know how it is at any job. But
Yes.
99% of the time here, I've always felt that way. So yeah, that's important. I have to like it, and I have to feel like I'm being of service, or it's me doing the job that makes the difference.
What helps me get through the more frustrating times here, or any station that I've worked at, is the feedback from people. I remember when my dad passed away. And the Creative Center, I had kind of talked about them at the time a little bit, had done some things with them. They had every single person there, all the students, sign this letter.
Aw.
Elijah, who I don't know if he still is a member of the Creative Center or not, he used to call in all the time. I used to talk to him. I'd see him at events. He'd always come up, get a hug from him. And I don't know, he was the catalyst for it, but they had this letter that was typed out, and then everybody at the Creative Center signed it.
Nice.
And I still have that letter, and I will always have that letter. So making those connections outside of the building for me is always, and that's one of the reasons I will, if I'm not on the air, that's when I'm going to lose my connection. I think that's when this would start feeling more like a job for me than not. Whereas, the primary job that you have is the creative side, with writing commercials, producing commercials,
branding,
delegating some, doing some of the imaging as well. So that's more so the focal point, which ties in perfectly with your loves.
But I'm also lucky enough to still be on the air on
Yeah.
My 97.5, and Rick is kind enough to drag me back in every year when we do the St. Jude Radio Telethon, because I'm also part-time on our rock station. I get to, and I was part of the beginning of St. Jude here at the radio station. The first 2 years it was me, Dave Daniels, boy, that's way back in the day, and then rolling forward, and I still get to do that. I need to do that. I'll be a partner in Hope till I'm dead, and I love being a part of that. And it's the same thing again, being of service, and I love doing that.
I miss that more than you realize. When Gina, our previous office manager, used to work here, the first year that I was no longer working on K-Jug, station that has the radiothon everywhere, in addition to classic rock, the first year I was off the air there and I was on the air on the new My 97.5, I remember she walked past my desk on that first Thursday. She asked me, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm fine. What do you ask?" I'm like, "First year not doing the radiothon." And I'm like, that was so perceptive of her to know as much about me as she did, to know that was something that affected me, because I had my kids on the air with that. In fact, I still think it gets used every once in a while, with my daughter asking for Partners in Hope and giving out the phone number, which the number hasn't changed over the years, and my son doing the same thing. And not having that connection anymore since making that switch, she realized, I bet this is bothering him a little bit. And I've asked in the past, hey, is there anything I can do to help? And I help out behind the scenes, especially with Jonah, who actually did a lot of things as well with classic rock. And I kind of helped her out in doing some of the things that she would typically do, so that she can focus solely on what they needed. In fact, her phone didn't work. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah, her screen went dead. So it was still working, but the screen was.
You didn't explain the import of that. These days, the phone center isn't here. And we used to have the phone, when you called, 1-800, it would ring in a conference room here. Well, it's off site now. And the gal, Vanessa, God bless you, Vanessa, who kind of runs the show, isn't even physically here. We are on a group chat.
Yeah.
And it's bing, 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 bing. It updates every 5 seconds. We need 3 more partners in Hope. That's where we get, when you hear us, hey, congratulations, Mike, Bob, and bam, bam, bam. It's all coming up. And the only thing Jonah needed those 2 days died the night before she got here. It's an important setup.
Yeah. So she told me that was the situation. She didn't ask. And I said, listen, you need a phone right now much more than I do. Here, just use my phone. Let me text my wife really quick to let her know. Don't send me pictures that you shouldn't the next few hours or so. And just made sure I muted everything else so it wouldn't distract her. I said, here, use the phone.
Yeah.
Make sure that they have that number. And that's how she was able to get through it. And I love the fact that, again, it wasn't anything I was looking to get credit for. But, hey, if it helps move this along and make sure that Jonah is tied in and gets the information she needs, it's the very least I can do, so I was happy to do it.
It's a lot. I love doing it, but it's a lot. You're exhausted afterwards because to be where you need to be, you have to take I mean, I'm going to sound like an actor now, but you have to take the emotional journey to be where you need to be for that because, I mean, and almost need to be a parent too, or at least a grandparent, to know how it would affect you the moment you hear that cancer diagnosis and you get into that chaotic, oh my God, what the hell do I do now? I can't do anything. Mm-hmm. And, here we go. It sounds like the telethon already. But that's the point. If you allow yourself to be there and if you allow yourself to tear up, if you allow yourself to be real all the way through it, it helps move the telethon along. And then you go home and then I sit in my chair and I fall asleep at 6:38, 1 second after dinner because it's exhausting. But worth it.
Yeah.
So worth it.
I get that feeling now with the toy drive that we do every year. And what it takes out of me physically with being on location for
I had a common cold.
56 hours or whatever it is, and staying out and sleeping out a Friday into Saturday, a Saturday into Sunday, and talking with Vanita Jordan, with Ann's Kids for Christmas about the kids. And when I first learned about it, that it wasn't just toys they were getting gloves and hoodies and socks and shoes, because these are kids that didn't just have wants from Santa Claus for Christmas. These are kids that had needs and identified by teachers that had needs. That they can't sit in a classroom and have their teeth chattering because they're freezing cold and expect to be learning something. So let's make sure they get what they need in addition to some things that they want so that they know that they're loved on every front.
Yep, that's just one of the many things that we get to be a part of here. That St. Jude, we get to collect school supplies with the wonderful bus drivers in Visalia, who, same idea, they know who needs what they need. Mm-hmm. We get the stuff. We get you to get them the stuff, and they give the kids that need it the stuff they need to learn. And that's one of the nicest things about being in radio is that you get to mobilize a wonderful listening audience to make a difference. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we've seen that with Central Valley Honor Flight as well, with the things that we've done with them too. So thank you for everything that you do to be involved with us as much as you are. So that was the poll question that's up right now. I'm thinking about this as a new poll question, which will pop up on Friday. Have you heard of stream cheating?
Stream cheating?
Or binge betrayal?
Well, no, these are new for me.
So this is when you decide with your beautiful wife to take in a series on Netflix or Paramount or any of the streaming services that you have, and you buy into it full bore. You want to binge like some weekends, 2 or 3 episodes in a row.
Landman.
Or you want to watch an episode while dinner's going on, as long as you can kind of watch and see what's going on, and then she doesn't, and then behind her back, you decide to watch a couple episodes ahead without telling her.
Oh, I have done that.
And then at some point...
I have done that.
Now, when you've done that... Okay, 2 things. 1, do you consider that lowercase c cheating? And 2, do you tell her, Or do you fake your way through that next episode and act as though you're seeing it for the first time?
No and yes, because it's, in other words, to each of the two questions.
Okay.
And that wasn't a half-assed answer. No to the first, yes to the second.
Okay.
Because it's more a matter of practicality with me. My lovely wife is going through menopause. Mm-hmm. She can't buy a night's sleep right now.
Okay.
And so she has a hell of a time. And I'm up a little later than she is. And well, I'm up, and I really like watching this. And I'm not going to wait till Friday till she's there. And so she'll come like, oh, I guess you watched it, didn't you? We can watch it again.
Because a lot of the streaming services, you'll have that little bar at the bottom that shows, well, someone watched this whole next episode, but I know it wasn't me because I haven't seen this one yet.
It's not it's not a secret thing. She'll tell me, you're going to watch it, right? I go, yeah. Because you ain't going to be up, and I am, and you saw. Damn, this is good.
The one that we kind of, because we'll do the same thing, and I'm not sure if I consider it. I guess it depends if I hide it or not. If I consider it, again, lowercase c for cheating.
Well, yeah. Anytime you're looking, all I'll say is anytime you're looking over your shoulder, might be something going on there, right?
So we're watching Daredevil now on Disney Plus.
Okay.
So we started watching the new season, which I think all the episodes are out now. And then I read somewhere that they made the decision to make this season a continuation of the first 3 seasons that were on Netflix and are now on Disney Plus.
Oh.
So I thought, well, in that case, there's going to be some things in this series that may not make 100% sense to us. We should go back and watch all those original.
Way back.
And there were like 12 to 14 episodes per season, and there were 3 seasons worth before you get to the new one. So trying to get all 3 of us, because my son is in as well, my daughter's not, but trying to get all 3 of us in the same room at the same time with the same energy level to stay awake through a 50-minute episode, if not longer, does not happen as often as I would like.
It's a matter of practicality then, like I said earlier.
That's all.